To me, the biggest problem is really not that we lack for ideas about policy or policy initiatives or even practice initiatives. The big issue with, and again, they were asking me to write specifically about poverty in this case, but I could say this about any equity issue. The problem is not a lack of people who are passionate about it. The problem is not a lack of ideas or a lack of initiatives. The problem is that a majority of the ideas and initiatives in our schools right now are based on misunderstandings about inequity. And so a lot of the resources that schools and school districts and state departments of education put into equity are actually things that either one, make no difference at all, or two, actually make things worse. The problem is the most marginalized kids at this school think, they experience the problem as racism. There are inequities here, and nobody's talking about the inequities. And I go into so the people with the least power at the school, they're saying there's racism here. No one's doing anything about it. The most powerful people at the school, how do they frame it? We have to celebrate diversity. Don't even acknowledge racial inequities exist, right? That's the shift. That's the shift. Sure, we should celebrate diversity, right? I don't think anyone's going to say, well, we shouldn't be celebrating diversity. Celebrate diversity, but the authenticity of that is completely reliant on our willingness to fight for equity in real ways. It's equity or it's not equity. It's not, well, give some people equity. The first step toward equity literacy is recognizing that those gross inequalities exist. Those exist. And they have an impact, even if they're not specific to schools, they have an impact on the people who are attending schools. It's about the consciousness and what are we willing to stand up for. Understanding the root of the problem. What is the root of the problem? I mean, if we could just commit to that, we could have so much more of an impact on creating equitable schools. Because if we understand the root of the problem, we realize that we can't address economic, educational outcome inequalities. Equity is about resolving inequity. It's a crucial distinction there. Part of that process could be about addressing conflict. But at the end, the question is, have we addressed the inequity?